For months, the quiet halls of Packer Stadium had fans feeling a bit uneasy as the big names in free agency passed us by. We watched other teams spend, wondering if our defense would find that missing spark to help fill the void left by Trey Hendrickson. But everything changed with a single phone call that sent shockwaves through the Queen City. I've seen a lot of moves in my years covering this team, but this splash trade has fundamentally shifted the energy in our building today. Zach Taylor was all smiles when he stepped up to the podium at Packer Stadium to discuss the massive acquisition that has everyone in the league talking. The Bengals have pulled off a blockbuster trade to bring in Dexter Lawrence from the New York Giants, giving our defense the elite interior presence we have desperately craved. This move isn't just about adding another body to the rotation. It is about bringing in a superstar who has been one of the most dominant forces in the NFL since he first entered the league back in 2019. For a long time, we have felt the pressure of a defensive unit that ranked near the bottom of the league in several key categories, and this is the direct answer to those struggles. Dexter Lawrence is a massive man who specializes in making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks and running backs alike. While the early parts of the offseason saw the front office bring in names like Boy Mafe, Brian Cook, and Jonathan Allen, there was still a feeling that a true wow move was missing. Many fans were worried about how we would replace the production of Trey Hendrickson, but trading for an all-pro talent like this changes the entire conversation. During his first press conference on Monday, Lawrence looked genuinely thrilled to be wearing the stripes. He mentioned that while Cincinnati certainly isn't the bright lights and chaos of New York City, he actually prefers the slower pace of life here. It turns out that not every professional athlete is looking for the big market lifestyle of the East Coast or Los Angeles. Some players just want a place that feels like home, and it seems like our city is the perfect fit for his personality. The buzz throughout the facility is undeniable, and the coaching staff is already drawing up ways to use his unique skill set to collapse the pocket from the inside. Having a nose tackle who can both stuff the run and pressure the passer is a rare luxury in this league, and the Bengals finally have their man. It is a monumental day for the franchise and a clear signal that this team is in win now mode for the upcoming season. We can all feel it. The impact of this massive defensive tackle cannot be overstated when you look at how he changes the geometry of the football field. In the modern NFL, most teams try to build their pass rush from the edges, but having a force of nature right over the center creates a different kind of nightmare for offensive coordinators. He is the type of player who demands a double team on every single snap, which naturally frees up the rest of the defensive line to find one-on-one matchups. Even if this veteran doesn't rack up double-digit sacks himself, his ability to push the pocket backwards forces the quarterback to move off his spot and right into the arms of our edge rushers. Think back to some of the great defensive interiors we have seen in the past. They are the bedrock of a championship defense because they stop the run before it even starts. Last season, our unit struggled to stay consistent, often giving up big chunks of yardage on the ground that kept opposing offenses on the field far too long. With this new addition, those running lanes are going to disappear very quickly. He stands as a literal wall in the middle of the trenches, and his technical skill is just as impressive as his raw power. The locker room is going to feel an immediate boost in confidence, knowing that they have a premier talent anchoring the group. This is the kind of move that changes the vibe of the entire season before a single game is even played. It shows the veterans on the roster that the front office is willing to be aggressive to fix the problems that held us back last year. Watching his highlights from his time in the Giants uniform, you see a player who never takes a play off and plays with a high motor despite his enormous size. If he can bring that same level of intensity to our division rivals in the AFC North, the rest of the league is going to have a very hard time moving the ball against us. This trade is the definitive answer to the questions fans were asking just a few weeks ago. It is purely about strength. At the end of the day, this trade is all about winning more football games right now. We have seen our team get close to the ultimate goal before, but those runs often depend on having a defense that can get a crucial stop when the game is on the line. Adding a player of this caliber makes everyone else on the field better. It means our linebackers don't have to worry about offensive linemen reaching the second level to block them, because the middle of the line is already clogged up. It means our secondary doesn't have to cover wide receivers for 5 or 6 seconds, because the quarterback is feeling heat in his face immediately after the snap. This trade could be the difference between a playoff exit and a deep run toward a championship. When you have a star who can dominate his individual matchups so consistently, it simplifies the job for every other coach and player on the roster. Instead of having to use complicated blitzes to create pressure, we can just let our front four go to work. This reduces the risk of giving up big plays in the passing game because we can keep more players back in coverage. For the fans who were worried that the team was being too passive this offseason, this move is the ultimate reassurance. It proves that the goal remains exactly the same as it has been for the last few years, bringing a trophy back to Cincinnati. We are no longer just a team with a high-powered offense. We are building a defense that can impose its will on any opponent. This kind of physical presence is exactly what you need when you are playing tough games in cold weather against divisional opponents who love to run the ball. The simple reality is that having this player on our side makes us a much scarier team to face. It turns a potential weakness into a massive strength overnight. We have seen what happens when this team has a dominant defensive front, and this move puts us right back into that elite conversation. Every fan should feel a sense of relief and excitement. This is our moment. The stakes for this season have just been raised to an incredible level. If this move works the way we all hope, our defense will transform into one of the top 5 units in the entire league. We could see a scenario where our opponents are completely unable to run the ball, forcing them to become one-dimensional and predictable. Imagine the roar of the crowd at Packer Stadium as this new star collapses the pocket on a crucial 3rd down in the 4th quarter. That is the dream we are all chasing. But we also have to be honest about the risks that come with any big trade. If he struggles to adapt to our defensive system, or if the transition to a new city takes longer than expected, the pressure on the rest of the team will be immense. Trading away assets for a superstar means you are betting the house on that player being the final piece of the puzzle. If it fails, we will be left wondering what could have been if we had used those resources differently. However, the early signs are incredibly positive. Seeing him smile and talk about how much he loves the pace of our city gives us hope that he will settle in quickly and focus entirely on football. The tension is real because we know how small the window for success can be in the NFL. Every year is a precious opportunity, and moves like this show that the franchise is willing to take a big swing to make it count. We have all felt the heartbreak of close games that slipped away because we couldn't get that one final stop. This trade is designed to make sure that doesn't happen again. The difference between glory and disappointment often comes down to having the right people in the right spots. We are looking at a high-stakes gamble that could pay off with the ultimate prize. The atmosphere in Cincinnati is electric right now, but that excitement comes with a heavy weight of expectation. We are no longer the underdogs. We are the team that everyone else is going to be watching with a target on our backs. It is time to perform. Bringing in a talent like this is a statement that the Bengals are done waiting for their turn. We have the offense, we have the leadership, and now we have a true anchor in the middle of our defense. It is refreshing to see the front office act with such conviction, especially when it involves a player who truly wants to be part of our community. He seems to value the same things we do: hard work, a loyal fan base, and a city that feels like a real home. But I want to hear from you. This trade was a massive investment and a huge change for our defensive line. Be honest with me. Do you think this one move is enough to fix our defensive struggles from last year? Or do you think we still need more help on the edges? The buzz is everywhere, and your voice matters in this conversation. If you love the Bengals as much as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you never miss an update from inside the building. Let us go Bengals!